Boys and girls, we are ready for chapter 25. Hope you are enjoying this story. As always, hopefully you still have a parent or your brother or sister or your stuffed animal friend to help you as we read. So we've done chapter 24 today already, so refreshing your memory shouldn't take too long. In chapter 24, James was admiring the sound that Grasshopper made using his back leg and his wing. How was the short-horned grasshopper different from the long-horned grasshopper? Go ahead and pause and have a real quick review with your friend. So, some of the differences include where their ears are located. That was part of the difference, as well as how they made their music. With the short-horned grasshopper, like old Mr. Grasshopper, he used his thigh and his wing to make sound. While with the longhorn grasshopper, they usually just use their wings. They called them wing rubbers, which he felt was quite an inferior sound himself. But regardless of what grasshopper sound you prefer, that was chapter 24. So now we're getting in chapter 25. You made a prediction, or you should have, as your assignment on Google Classroom. So let's see if you were right. So chapter 25 of James the Giant Peach. James didn't want the earthworm and the centipede to get into another argument, so he said quickly to the earthworm, "Tell me, do you play any kind of music?" "No, but I do other things, some of which are really quite extraordinary," the earthworm said, brightening. "Such as what?" asked James. "Well," the earthworm said, "next time you stand in a field or in a garden and look around you, then you just remember this. With every grain of soil upon the surface of the land, every tiny bit of soil that you can see has actually passed through the body of an earthworm during the last few years. Isn't that wonderful?" "It's not possible," said James. "My dear boy, it's a fact." "You mean you actually swallow soil?" "Like mad," said the earthworm proudly. "In one end and out the other." "But what's the point?" said James. "What do you mean, what's the point?" "Why do you do it?" "Why, we do it for farmers. It makes the soil nice and light and crumbly so that things will grow well in it. If you really want to know, the farmers wouldn't do without us. We are essential. We are vital. So it's only natural that the farmers would love us. He loves us even more, I believe, than he loves the ladybug." "The ladybug?" said James, turning to look at her. "Do they love you too?" he asked. "I am told they do," the ladybug answered modestly, blushing all over. "In fact, I understand that in some places the farmers love us so much they go out and buy ladybugs by the sackful and take them home and set them free in their fields. They are very pleased when they have lots of ladybugs in their field." Why do you think farmers like ladybugs? Make a prediction to your stuffed animal friend. I'll wait. So based on the context clues, farmers like worms because they do. They help break down the soil. They create pathways in the ground that create air pockets so that roots can spread out, which happens to be what we're learning about in science class. So look at our story in science matching. Ladybugs is something not quite with the soil, but still quite helpful. Let's look. Because we gobble up all the nasty little insects that are gobbling up all the farmers' crops. It helps enormously, and we ourselves don't charge a penny for our service. So she helps eat bugs like aphids. They get their little insects that go to the back of their plants. I know we have some. They're destroying my hibiscus. They are not so nice. So ladybugs are helpful. I wish I had some ladybugs. "I think you're wonderful," James told her. "Can I ask you one special question?" "Please do." "Well, is it really true that I can tell how old a ladybug is by counting her spots?" "Oh no, that's just a child's story," the ladybug said. You can never change our spots. Some of us, of course, are born with more spots than others, but we never change them. The number of spots a ladybug has is simply a way of showing which branch of the family she belongs to. I, for example, as you can see for yourself, am a 9-spotted ladybug. I am very lucky. It's a fine thing to be. It is indeed, said James, gazing at the beautiful scarlet shell with the 9 black spots on it. On the other hand, Ladybug went on, some of my least fortunate relatives have only 2 spots altogether on their shells. Can you imagine that? They are called 2-spotted ladybugs. They are very common and ill-mannered, they are, I regret to say. And then, of course, you have the 5-spotted ladybugs as well. They are much nicer than the 2-spotted ones, although I myself find them a trifle too saucy for my taste. But they're all loved? Asked James. Yes, Ladybug replied quietly. They are all loved. It seems almost everyone around here is loved, said James. That's nice. Not me, cried the centipede happily. I'm a pest, and I'm proud of it. Oh, I'm such a shocking, dreadful pest. Here, here, the earthworm said. But what about you, Miss Spider? Asked James. Are you also loved in the world? Alas, no, Miss Spider answered, sighing long and loud. I am not loved at all, and I do nothing but good. All day I catch flies and mosquitoes in my web. I am a decent person, or insect. I know you are, said James. It's very unfair we spiders are treated, Miss Spider went on. Why, only a few weeks ago, your own horrible Aunt Sponge flushed my poor dear father down the plunge hole in the bathtub. How awful, James cried. I watched the whole thing from the corner up in the ceiling, Miss Spider murmured. It was ghastly. We never saw him again. A large tear rolled down her cheek and fell with a splash on the floor. But is it not very unlucky to kill a spider? James inquired, looking around at the others. Of course it's unlucky to kill a spider, shouted the centipede. It's about the unluckiest thing anyone can do. Look what happened to Aunt Sponge after she'd done that. Bump! We all felt it, didn't we? As the peach went rolling over her. Oh, what a lovely bump that must have been for you, Miss Spider. It was very satisfying, Miss Spider answered. Will you sing us a song, please? So the centipede did. I'm not singing. Well, I'll chant. I ain't singing. Aunt Sponge was terribly fat and tremendously flabby at that. Her tummy and waist were as soggy as paste, and it was worse than the place where she sat. So she said, I must make myself flat. I must make myself sleek as a cat. I shall do it without dinner to make myself thinner. But along came the peach, the beautiful peach that made her far thinner than that. That was very nice, Miss Spider said. Now sing one about Aunt Spiker. With pleasure, the centipede said, grinning. Aunt Spiker was thin as a wire and as dry as a bone, but only drier, and was so long and thin. If you carried her in, you could use her for poking the fire. I must do something quickly, she frowned. I want fat, I want pound upon pound. I must eat lots and lots of marshmallows and chalks till I start bilging all around. Ah, yes, she announced. I have sworn that I'd alter my figure by dawn, cried the peach with a snigger. I'll alter your figure and iron you out on the lawn. Everyone clapped and called out for more songs from the centipede, who at once launched into his favorite song of all. Once upon a time where pigs were swine and monkeys chewed tobacco, a hen took snuff and made themselves tough, and the ducks sell quack-a-quack-do, and porcupines drank fiery wines, and goats ate tapoca, and Aunt Mother Hubbard got stuck in the Look, centipede, cried James. Look out! I wonder what's going to happen to centipede. Because that, my friends, is the end of chapter 25. And I enjoyed my singing. So, chapter 25. What do you think is going to happen to centipede? That is a prediction you're going to make as a real quick response to show you understand what's happening. Actually, there's 3 questions you're going to answer, one of which is a prediction. So listen again if you need to, although I don't think you want to hear my singing again. And be ready